Sound of an upbeat, motivating tune in the background. Text appears. 5 financial mistakes you need to avoid in your 20s. You're in your 20s. The world is your oyster. Your potential feels limitless. But so do the financial pitfalls lurking around every corner. One wrong move, and it could cost you years of progress. Scary, right? But what if I told you that avoiding just 5 simple mistakes could set you up for financial freedom for life? Sounds too good to be true? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to sidestep these traps and build the wealth you deserve. Now, let's dive in. The first mistake is one that most young adults make. And honestly, it's the one that hurts the most in the long run. Ready for this? Living for today, forgetting tomorrow. Yeah, we've all been there. A paycheck comes in, and suddenly it feels like you have a free pass to splurge. New clothes, a nice dinner, maybe even a weekend getaway. But here's the kicker. All of those immediate pleasures come at a massive cost to your future. You're paying for that dinner twice, once with cash, and once with the money you could have invested. But hey, don't get me wrong, I love a good sushi night as much as the next person. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck without saving or investing, you're setting yourself up for stress later. How much do you think you'll have to work in your 30s and 40s to make up for what you didn't save in your 20s? The answer is way too much. Think about it. If you don't start building wealth now, you're delaying your freedom for years. And I'm not just talking about storing away cash. I'm talking about investing in assets that grow over time. The clock is ticking, and the sooner you start, the better. Now, while you might think, hey, I'll just make more money later, that's not always a strategy you want to bank on. The second mistake? Well, this one's sneaky. Let me hit you with a truth bomb. Compound interest is the single greatest wealth-building tool you have. But if you don't understand it, you're wasting it. Picture this. Your money working for you while you're sleeping, partying, or binge-watching Netflix. That's the magic of compounding. Cut to a quick visual of a growing investment graph with a dollar bill turning into a stack of cash. The problem? Most people don't start early enough. They delay investing, thinking they need more money to begin. Let me tell you, the earlier you start, the less you have to put in. Imagine this. Investing $100 a month at 8% returns for 30 years could lead to over $200,000. But wait, don't stop watching just yet, because mistake number 3 is going to shock you. Okay, so we've covered the long-term thinking and investing early. But here's a real gut punch for you: ignoring your credit score. Let me guess, you're in your 20s and you're just starting out. Maybe you've got a couple of credit cards or student loans, but you're thinking, I'll pay this off when I can. Wrong. Your credit score is everything. Your credit score affects your ability to get loans, rent an apartment, and even snag that job you want. Heck, even car insurance rates can be influenced by your score. So, if you're not paying attention to it, you're setting yourself up for major roadblocks ahead. And trust me, you don't want that kind of stress at 28 inches. Think of it like this. Imagine you've worked your tail off to get a nice car or home, only to realize you've got a 500 credit score, and no one will give you a loan. Cue the drama, right? But don't panic. This is fixable. Stay tuned for some simple ways to improve your score, because the worst thing you can do is ignore it altogether. All right, we're about halfway through, and you're probably starting to realize your 20s are critical. So what's mistake number 4? Oh, this one's a biggie. Imagine this. You're cruising through life, feeling invincible, when bam, your car breaks down, or you lose your job. If you don't have an emergency fund, your world comes crashing down fast. Credit cards become your lifeline, and before you know it, you're drowning in debt. That's why you need to build an emergency fund. Ideally, 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. No excuses. It's the safety net that can keep you from spiraling into financial disaster when life throws you a curveball. And finally, let's talk about the 5th mistake that could completely derail your financial future. Trust me, it's one you'll want to avoid at all costs. Let's get real for a second. How many times have you bought something just because it looked good at the time? That impulse spending is dangerous. Whether it's the latest tech, designer clothes, or the shiny new car, if you're going into debt for stuff you don't need, you're digging yourself a financial hole. In your 20s, debt can feel like a minor inconvenience. But over time, interest builds up, and suddenly, you're paying double, even triple, what that item was worth. And I don't think you want to be paying off debt when you're 40, do you? So, there you have it. The 5 financial mistakes you must avoid in your 20s. Remember, your 20s are the foundation of your financial future. Avoiding these mistakes is not just about surviving. It's about thriving. Now, here's the thing. The real wealth-building power comes from the magic of compounding. So, if you want to learn how to make your money work for you, check out my video on the Investing for Beginners. How to get started with just $100. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Just click the screen now.